Welcome to the Naga Chronicles Podcast. I'm Srimukh Duvvuri, author of The Serpent Prince. In today's episode, Astika, the boy who stopped a genocide. This is the story I've been building toward. Every episode in this series, Shesha, Vasuki, Takshaka, they all converge here. Because this is the story where the Nagas almost ceased to exist, and the only thing that stopped it was a boy. The background. You'll remember from the Takshaka episode, Takshaka killed King Parikshit. Parikshit's son, Janamejaya, swore revenge. But he didn't just want Takshaka dead, he wanted all serpents dead. Janamejaya organized the Sarpa Satra, a grand fire sacrifice powered by Vedic mantras so potent that they could summon serpents from anywhere in the world and pull them into the sacrificial fire. This wasn't a hunt. This was an extinction event conducted through ritual. The sacrifice began. Serpents came from forests, from rivers, from Naga Loka itself. They flew through the air against their will, drawn by the power of the chants, and fell into the flames. Thousands upon thousands. Great Nagas, minor serpents, the old, the young. The fire consumed them all. Vasuki, the king of Nagas, watched his people die and could do nothing to stop it. Enter Astika. Astika was the son of a Brahmin sage named Jaratkaru and a Naga woman also named Jaratkaru, Vasuki's own sister. He was, by blood, both human and Naga. Both worlds lived in him. Vasuki had orchestrated this marriage deliberately. An ancient prophecy had told him that a child born of this union would one day save the Nagas from destruction. So Vasuki arranged for his sister to marry the sage, and Astika was born. The boy grew up knowing his purpose. And when the Sarpa Satra began and the Nagas started dying, Astika went to Janamejaya's court. The confrontation. Astika didn't come with an army. He didn't come with threats or weapons. He came with words. He arrived at the sacrifice and began praising Janamejaya. He praised the king's power, his righteousness, his devotion. He praised the priests, the ritual, the sacred fire. He spoke with such eloquence and such deep knowledge of the Vedas that Janamejaya was genuinely impressed. Pleased, the king offered Astika a boon, any wish he wanted. Astika's wish was simple: stop the sacrifice. Janamejaya hesitated. His advisors protested. The sacrifice was nearly complete. Takshaka himself was being pulled toward the flames at that very moment, the very serpent who had killed Janamejaya's father. But Janamejaya had given his word. A king's promise, especially one made during a sacred ritual, could not be broken. He ordered the sacrifice to stop. The fire went out. The chanting ceased. Takshaka, who had been hovering above the flames, was released. The surviving Nagas were spared. Why this story matters. The Astika story is about several things at once, and all of them are important. It's about the power of a single voice. Astika didn't need an army. He needed the right words at the right time. He used the system's own rules, the king's obligation to honor a boon, against the system's own machinery of destruction. It's about the danger of collective punishment. Takshaka killed Parikshit, one Naga, one act. Janamejaya's response was to destroy all Nagas, millions of beings who had nothing to do with Takshaka's choice. The Sarpa Satra is a warning about what happens when grief becomes rage, and rage becomes policy. It's about hybrid identity. Astika could save the Nagas precisely because he was both human and Naga. He could enter Janamejaya's court because he was a Brahmin. He cared about the Nagas because he was one of them. His dual nature wasn't a weakness. It was the exact thing that made him the right person for this moment. The legacy. The day Astika stopped the Sarpa Satra is celebrated as Nag Panchami in some traditions, the festival honoring serpents that's observed across India to this day. It's a day of gratitude, a day of remembering that the Nagas survived because someone spoke up. In the Mahabharata, the Astika story is told at the very beginning. It's literally one of the first stories narrated, a frame story within a frame story. The poets who composed the epic chose to start with the near extinction of the Nagas and the boy who prevented it. That's how important they considered it. Astika and the Serpent Prince. If there's one story from Naga mythology that runs through the DNA of the Serpent Prince, it's this one. The idea that the Nagas live under an existential threat. The idea that the world above could decide to destroy them at any time, for any reason. The idea that survival requires someone who can move between both worlds. Astika is the prototype for that character. He's the bridge. He's the proof that connection between worlds isn't just possible, it's necessary. And the fact that he saved his people not with a weapon, but with a word, that's the kind of hero I wanted to write about. Next episode, Mukhalinda, the Naga who sheltered the Buddha. We're crossing from Hindu mythology into Buddhist tradition, and the Nagas come with us. Thanks for listening to the Naga Chronicles Podcast. Follow me on Instagram at Srimukh Duvvuri, and check out The Serpent Prince, a YA fantasy based on Hindu mythology. See you next time.